Here are the 20 books I read in February 2025. Hi, my name is Talia. Welcome back to my channel. It is the end of the month / beginning of the month because this video is going up on March 2nd. This is my monthly reading wrap up, and this is where I talk about all the books I read completed in the previous month. There are a lot of books I started this month that I have not finished, so a lot of those will be rolling over into my March TBR, which will be Wednesday's video. So I did hint that today's video was supposed to be a Q&A, ask me anything, but I forgot it was the beginning of the month. So if you still have any questions for me, ask me anything for next Sunday's video, put that down in the comments. It could be about books, career, living in DC, my life, being a content creator, influencing, owning a home, whatever. Book titles and authors are listed in the caption. And for the BookFAX, because I like giving a breakdown of how I read and what I read to kind of give you a better idea of how, I read all of these books in 1 month. Reading is not a race. It's not a competition. So read what you can. Okay. There's no such thing as reading too much or too little. Reading is good, period. But I do like to give a breakdown. So 11 of the 20 books were audiobooks. 5 of the 20 books were novellas, so 160 pages or less. 9 of those 20 books were 200 pages or less. And 3 of these books were not romance or erotica. First up is The Filling Station by Vanessa Miller. This book is out on March 11th, and I'm actually going to be in conversation with Vanessa Miller for the DC stop of her book tour. So if you're in the DMV, see you Wednesday, March 12th at the Oxon Hill Library in Oxon Hill. This book conversation is being presented by Mahogany Books, local Black-owned bookstore here in DC, and the Prince George's Memorial Library System. So me, Vanessa Miller, we're going to be chatting, and the link for that event and for tickets are also in the description. This book is a historical fiction novel set during the aftermath of the Tulsa Race Massacre. And this book follows 2 sisters who lose everything. And it's at a filling station where they, one, find a safe haven, but also find the strength, the courage to rebuild their lives. And I enjoyed reading this, not only preparing for my conversation with Vanessa, but also just doing more research about the historic Greenwood neighborhood in Tulsa and the event and the resilience. Everything else is in alphabetical order based on author, because I had to pub my event first. Next book is Locked In by Aria Days. This is like a novelette. I don't even think it's 60 pages, okay? Love me some Aria Days. One of my favorite erotica smut writers. I love her stuff. And this story is about, I wouldn't say friends to lovers, but our main characters have a client service provider relationship. And baby, the lines definitely get blurred. And I think you can only get this exclusively on Aria Days' website. So this is not available on like KU or Kindle or in traditional format. Next book is Love Me Not by Ayla Cox. This is my first read by Ayla Cox. Ayla Cox is going to be one of the authors at the Black Romance Book Festival in Atlanta this May. And one of my goals is to read as many of the authors that are going to be there. So this book came out a little bit before Valentine's Day, and this is a best friends to lovers story. It also has a little fake dating, which I love. And I read this via KU Kindle Unlimited on ebook. So I rarely talk about books I reread or read in a different format than what I originally read it in, but I cannot go any longer without talking about Talk to Me Nicely, the audiobook by BriAnn Danae. This is book 1 in the Erotic Love Language book series. It's a series of 5 novelettes or novellas, and they're all centered around holidays. So I read the entire series like maybe in 2023, and BriAnn Danae has blessed us with a rollout of the audiobooks for this series. This audiobook came out on Valentine's Day, and baby, this audiobook is a masterclass, okay? This is the standard to which all audiobooks should be produced. Okay. This is an erotica. Very spicy. Okay. I can't even. Baby, don't listen to this around anyone who you want to respect you. That's okay. Listen to this in the privacy of your own home. Headphones. I don't think you should listen to this at work. But baby, this is spicy. It was spicy reading it on the ebook for the first time. But this audiobook is immaculate. 10 out of 10. Okay. The narrators who are new to me, Von Zell and Ashanti as Hell, they did that. Okay. BriAnn, I'm going to be sad for the rest of the series when those come out on audiobook. And this you can buy exclusively on BriAnn Danae's website. I think it's going to come to Audible eventually, but you don't want to wait. You do not want to wait. Next book is The Other Side of Fame by D. Rose. This is my first read by the author. D. Rose is another Black Romance Book Festival author who I haven't read yet. And I must say, The Other Side of Fame is probably going to be in my top reads of 2025. I loved this book. It was so good. It was so good. So good. Another fake relationship. One of my favorite tropes, because you know what I say about fake relationships. Was it ever fake? Okay, was it ever fake? He falls first. This is set in the music industry. I love me a music industry romance, okay? Wonderful. And I read The Other Side of Fame on ebook through Kindle Unlimited. Next book is To Her Rescue by Dria Andersen. This is book 1 in the Knight's Brother series. This is a paranormal romance. In this book, the paranormal is that they're panthers, but other books in the series are other animals. Baby, I've been getting into my paranormal bag, okay? I've been getting into my paranormal romance bag. And this is not the only paranormal romance I read this month, okay? I really enjoyed this. It's a pretty quick listen. I listened to this on Libby, and it was like 5 hours. Speaking of paranormal romance, next book is Only for One Night, a shifter romance novella by the Queen, Elle Kayson, author of Demon's Dream. This is Elle Kayson's like first foray into paranormal romance. I really enjoyed this. This was centered around Valentine's Day, and I want to say the animal in this is a jaguar. It's a jaguar. This is a second chance romance. So our couple, met when they were young, when they were children. And Elle Kayson hinted that like she's going to build out this particular universe. So I'm very much looking forward to the rest of the books in this universe. And I read this book on ebook via Kindle Unlimited. Next book is Junie by Erin Crosby Eckstine. This is a relatively new release. Good Morning America book club pick. This historical fiction is set in 1860 in Alabama. So we're dealing with, antebellum America. And I think the thing about this book is that it's right before the Civil War. That's kind of like the place, like the figurative and literal place we are for this story. This book marries historical fiction with kind of like the supernatural. So if you've read Hours by Philip B. Williams, you might like this. If you read Let Us Descend by Jesmyn Ward, you might like this. Next book is Capone III. This is book 3 in season 1 Delgato series by Jahquel J. We finally made it through Capone. We finally made it through Capone. Baby, I'm just ready for Capadonna. I am so ready for Capadonna. I'm ready to go to Islam, okay? Next book is Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. This is book 3 in the Skyland series. Y'all know how we feel about Kennedy Ryan over here. I actually read Can't Get Enough earlier this month. The book comes out on May 13th. When the ARCs dropped on NetGalley, I dropped everything I was doing. I'm like, I'm getting an instant download of Can't Get Enough. I've already reviewed this book, so I'm not going to say too much. So if you scroll down a couple of weeks on YouTube, you'll see my full-length review, my tears, my vulnerability about Hendrix's story. For me, this is my favorite book in Skyland. And I think that's so because I see so much of myself in Hendrix. I've never seen myself this represented in a book character before. Next book is The Love Lyric. This is book 3 in the Green Sisters series by Christina Forrest. Love me some Green Sisters. I remember reading The Neighbor Favor in 2023, read The Partner Plot, had an arc of that at the end of 2023. I listened to this on audiobook via Spotify, so that's how I used part of my 15 hours as a Spotify premium member. But I am so happy for Iris. And Angel is such a sweetheart. Angel is such a sweetheart, but I'm happy for them both. I am happy for them both. I'm happy for this second chance at love for Iris. And I am happy that Angel was able to find somebody who could be his peace and his escape from his world. Next book is This Close to Okay by Lisa Smith Cross. I listened to this audiobook on Libby. This is actually the March pick for my book club, Frozen Prose. This video is going up on the 2nd. Our meeting is literally this afternoon. So this book is like Southern fiction. It's more psychological fiction. I don't feel as much Southernness as I do in other types of books set in the South. It's a dual POV, which is rare for like non-romance as far as I've read. And all I'll say is Tallulah, you need your license revoked. You need your license revoked, okay? Ethics. What happened to ethics? Next book is Mega Man by Mel Doe. This is my first read by the author, Megatron. I listened to this audiobook on Libby. Megatron, you are out of control. You are out of control. Megatron is a local businessman. I'll put it at that. And he falls for a pastor's daughter. Okay. And baby, I think old girl was Pentecostal. That's how strict it was. That's how strict it was. Okay. She needed to get up under the hand and foot of her pastor daddy. But yeah, Megatron's like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck pastor. Next book is So This Is Love by Mayiko May. This book came out around Valentine's Day as well. I first read Mayiko May in 2023. Her first book was like one of my first romance reads in my current reading journey when I got back into reading. And this book was so sweet, so lovely. I love this couple. This is definitely a strangers to friends to lovers. There's also some music industry elements. And Bryce, a man, Book Boyfriend Hall of Fame. Who else is Book Boyfriend Hall of Fame? I haven't mentioned who got inducted. Quite a few inductees into Talia's Book Boyfriend Hall of Fame for this year. Who else in February got inducted? I'm going to say Malik from Love Me Not, Fame from The Other Side of Fame, Maverick from Can't Get Enough. And I think that's it. Next book is Deja Vu, a Valentine's Day novella by Olivia Linden. Shout out to Olivia Linden. She was on my panel during the Harlem Book Fair. It was a Black romance panel. Super sweet. Can't wait to see her again at the Black Romance Book Festival in May. But this is her latest release. And this is a second chance romance. And you know what? For this couple, we needed the time. Because when they initially met, the time was a good thing. And I read the ebook via KU. Next book is How About Forever by Rousey Adams, another author who I think I'm meeting this year. I think she's going to be at the Black Romance Book Festival. Love Rousey Adams, one of my favorite authors, one of my most read authors. And How About Forever is a follow-up for Just for Tonight. Yeah, they get their happily ever after. And I read this ebook via KU as well. Next book is Untouchable by Sean. Been reading a lot of Sean this last year. Listened to this audiobook on Libby. This is a Best Friends to Lovers. And baby, old girl got on my nerves. Okay, that man been in love with you since y'all was 10 years old. Okay, you playing games. And I know you were hurt, girl. I know you was hurt. But girl, all he want to do is love you. Next book is Everlasting Desire by Stephanie Nicole Norris. This book is a part of the Unparalleled Love series. This series doesn't necessarily go in order, so you can kind of read it out of order. This was the audiobook that I found on Libby, so I listened to this. But this book is a friends to lovers. A lot of friends to lovers. Wow. A lot of friends to lovers, best friends to lovers this month. I don't know what I was going through, but that seems to be the trope of February for me. Next book is Say You'll Ride by Takora Monique. So this book is not a part of the series, but there are other books with characters in this book. They have their own love stories. So like that whole Silk Hills universe. Our FMC is kind of low-key on the run, although it's been several years. And she, by chance, happens to meet a very powerful businessman. I don't want to say criminal, but he's in a gang. He's in a, you know, and this is a very unlikely couple, but they work. And last book I read this month is Obeying His Law by Wintertime. So this was like a romantic thriller, kind of. These two characters meet at a rehab facility. And baby, what the hell is going on at Better Days? What the hell is going on? The state board needed to shut y'all down. Okay, I listened to this on audiobook via Libby. So that's everything I read in February. Like I said, authors and titles are in the description. The registration link for my book event on March 12th with Vanessa Miller is also in the description. And let me know, what books did you read this month? Put that in the comments. Bye.